as Ohio State, no matter how much these Tennessee fans run their mouth. I respect Tennessee. I like Tennessee. But it's like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Get real. Get real. I'm sorry, people, but it's incomprehensible to me why Tennessee fans keep talking as if they're good. If you met on the field with Ohio State right the heck now, you would get whooped tenfold right now. You 100% would get whooped tenfold. It's not even a discussion. It's not a debate. It's not really much of anything. I mean, in a short video I made earlier on, or should I say yesterday, actually 2 days ago actually, that I made, I talked about how Ohio State dominates Tennessee in program metrics and also beats them in every single thing. Not only in the metrics, but also on the football field. The other thing is it's about Tennessee's inability to develop. If you guys haven't seen it, and I'm about to pull up something real quick about Tennessee real quick, because there's a graphic that shows it about Tennessee and why, if DGG or anybody did go there, it's not really a good thing for them if they did, because, their ability to develop is just horrific, actually. They're great at recruiting, terrible at development. As a matter of fact, and I'm actually gonna shout out the guys at Menace to Sports, Chris, Drew, and Zach, for pulling up this graph that I didn't see. I'm gonna try to find it real quick for them. But in the meantime, James, give me your opinion on what you think of this whole thing.
Well, just about Tennessee in general?
Yeah, just give me your thoughts about Tennessee in general. Did not want to hear that.
I think last year, where Tennessee was, I mean, most of the teams they lost to last year were ranked opponents. Even their bowl game they had last year, they lost to Illinois in a nail biter. And then they lost to Georgia in a nail biter in overtime. They lost to Alabama, Oklahoma. They lost to Vanderbilt. Uh, Lost to Illinois 30-28, even the bowl. So I think that they've always been like one of those teams that they can match good with opponents. It's just they also lack in certain places. In this case, when we're talking about recruitment of adding value to a team and where they lack and where they don't lack, I think Tennessee is still trying to. They have an identity base, but it's not the greatest identity base.
It's not.
It's not.
They've gone backwards, actually.
I feel like
Kind of funny.
I feel like this season we're going to see some more holes in Tennessee than what we're expecting. Now, I don't know. I can't say if Nico was still there, that if he was still your starting quarterback, would that change where you guys are? But I'm also not going to say that if he wasn't there, that wouldn't change some value for Tennessee. I think guys, when it comes to recruiting, and if we're making the example between the Tennessee and Ohio State, I would rather play for Ohio State than Tennessee. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not just because of the name. That's just
The facts.
yeah.
Like all the facts that are behind it. As a matter of
Right.
fact, since we talk about it, again, I want to shout out the guys on Minister Sports for this one because they ended up finding this. There's a chart right here that talks about what's, it's average team talent ranked since 2021. So this is how many players they've had recruited and where they are
Mhm.
ranked usually. But the bottom is the total of how many of these players got drafted since 2021.
Hmm.
You notice that Tennessee's in the red right here. This
Yeah.
orange right here in between Auburn and South Carolina, Ole Miss, right here.
Yeah.
This is where they're recruiting. They're always recruiting up here with some of the teams that you see right here. But the problem is they cannot develop. They cannot. They are as it says right here. Recruits well, but struggles to get players drafted. They
Yeah.
don't get players drafted as much as people think they do. People, they don't. They're terrible at it. If anything, they're the worst at it. And even the players, and I can even pull up another graphic if I can find it, is about um when when players get drafted,
Yeah.
how much do they make an impact from their rookie season, started from 21 to now? You will notice Tennessee's not even in the top 50, if anything. I mean, it's only top 10, but when you're talking about the top 50, Tennessee's not even in it.
Yeah.
Because none of their players make an impact. Latest example, they're two running backs. So people want to talk about the fact they got two running backs drafted. They both got drafted in the 4th round. One is a backup to Ohio State running back Quinshon Judkins, and the other one is like a third stringer on somebody else's team. So tell me, what does your running backs really do? Because outside of Alvin Kamara, what running backs have you had that have done anything in the NFL? Outside of Alvin Kamara, seriously, outside of Alvin Kamara, y'all have it, and outside of 2 wide receivers that y'all had that got drafted back before any of us were ever born. Have you had any other receivers drafted since? And then go back to even Peyton Manning. When was the last time you had a quarterback drafted that did anything? Since Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So, you get what I'm saying? You don't even have any tight ends or offensive linemen that, when they do get drafted, they don't do anything. They don't even stay on the team long. Same with defense. So, my thing is for Tennessee, this isn't even just 21. I can even say throughout your entire school history, y'all had problems getting players developed. The one time you actually did have not that big of a problem was in the 90s. More so the 90s was actually the most where you guys actually did have a good fluid talent. Other than that, not really. Y'all really didn't do anything. Seriously, I would say, what was it? What was the year y'all won the Natty? 1998, which was after the year Michigan and Nebraska had that shared Natty in '97. So.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best team y'all had overall. So y'all didn't really do anything. And like I said, when we're looking at 2021 now, you're talking about to Quinshon that we get running backs drafted. What is your running backs do?
And I don't. And to me, I don't think Tennessee is a football school. I feel like Tennessee values come from their basketball, women's and men's basketball teams are incredible at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Baseball teams incredible at Tennessee. I don't think football is where people go. If you want to be good at Tennessee, you don't go for football. I don't and that's the thing, and yeah, Peyton did it, and but Peyton didn't need them. It was more so they needed Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so Peyton was already good by himself. I don't think it was a developmental thing. I think it was more just Peyton just needed to get his feet wet, and once he got really good at getting his feet wet, he was done. But
I mean, look at the teams that actually do better, like Iowa, Cincinnati, freaking BYU. They get more players drafted than you, and when you see how low their recruiting rankings are, you're like, huh, Tennessee? Yeah. You are not even at this level. You're not even at Michigan's level. And Michigan is terrible at developing players, in my opinion. They barely have that many great players in the NFL. And you telling me they get more people drafted than you.
Hey, wait a minute, man.
No, seriously. Since
I knew the Michigan hate was coming.
No. James, let me tell you something right now. Since 2021, when you look at Michigan's players in the NFL, there's only 2 players right now that you can look at it so done any good. That's Mason Graham and Adrian Hutchinson. What has J.J. McCarthy done? Yeah, exactly. Don't start today with me, buddy. Y'all can't even get Michigan draft people. Tennessee, you can't even get that. And don't even tell me it's because of their brand name. Don't even tell me it's just because. I mean, yeah, part of it is because it's the only reason why these losers get drafted.
Part of it.
But it's not the whole reason. Even I can tell you, and this is coming from an Ohio State fan, mind you, and I hate these losers. They have better players in the NFL than y'all clowns do. And their players are more valuable in the NFL. Imagine me saying that. And I hate those clock suckers up north. I hate those losers. And yet even I can tell them that, even I can tell a Tennessee fan that y'all talent ain't crap compared to Michigan. DGG be better off going to the clowns up north, and even I don't think he would ever go up there because of what they are, the kind of crap they've been through, all the freaking scandals they got. He won't even go up there just for that alone. But if they didn't have any of that, he'd go to the team up north before he go to y'all, and that's saying a lot right there.
Yeah, that I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on that one. I think Michigan has fell on some bad places, but they've had talent. They've had talent. When you look at Aiden Hutchinson, who was incredible in Detroit, he made an impact his rookie season. I think JJ can have it. I think right now he has to figure some stuff out. I don't think he's with a good coach. I love Kevin O'Connell, but I don't think
Yeah,
Kevin O'Connell was the type of coach that's a developmental coach. I think he's the type of coach that is a set system coach where if you know who you are, you can play under him. That's why he did good with Kirk Cousins. That's why he did good with those guys like that.
that's why I think he do good with. I think he'll do good with Colin Murray. I don't think it'll go
Yeah.
as great as people think. It just won't. It just won't be all that. I think it would have done better with Fields just because. But
Yeah, Fields, Sam Darnold, like that. He did good with those guys. But,
yeah,
we're restarting. We're restarting.
yeah, but imagine me saying that as an Ohio State fan that I'm telling you DGG be better off going to the team up north and going to Tennessee, and I hate those clowns. I flat out hate those clowns. I hate those clowns. I hate them. And even I'm telling you he'd be better off going there.
I hate him.
I hate them. I like making those clowns cry. They don't call me the Wolverine Slayer for nothing. I make their fans cry. They hate me for that. But even if I'm as an Ohio State fan is telling Tennessee fans that, imagine how embarrassing that is. And like I said, those guys' talent in the NFL really don't do much. But they do more than Tennessee's talent. Like if I'm a freaking NFL team, I'll take Michigan talent before I take Tennessee talent. And that's telling you a lot. Like, and again, you guys have freaking Peyton Manning, and you didn't even win a natty with this guy.
Yeah.
All the great players you've had. Like, first of all, can anyone even remember what Alvin Kamara's season was like in Tennessee? Because I don't. I don't. I only know him for what he did with the Saints. I know he went to Tennessee. I don't know his season.
But okay, now wait a second. Okay, dang, because you're not wrong. I didn't, and I like Alvin Kamara. He was a good running back. He was strong.
Yeah, no, that's the point though. Like, I know he's a great running back. The problem is,
But
given
but that's
how
a
bad
but that
season-
but then again, that's what we're talking about. Alvin Kamara was set. He really didn't need to be developed at Tennessee. He was more so already knew he was going to the draft. So it was more so he just had to get a little film tape, and they were like, okay, we're good. We got it.
Yeah,
We
as a matter
see
of
it.
fact, think about this. He didn't even commit there at first. He started off at some smaller school, transferred up to Tennessee, and that's how he got there. When Tennessee fans tried to talk about saying, "Oh, well, Quinshon Judkins was an Ohio State running back? He only went there for a year. Alvin Kamara only went there for a year. You idiots!
Yeah.
He transferred to Tennessee for a year. You idiots!
And then left.
And then left. So don't tell me you guys. So do you think that smaller school from what one of the smaller D1 schools that's like a community college in some sense? Does he just seriously no joke? Do you think that you own Alvin Kamara by that same logic? Like apply that same logic to Alvin Kamara, who wasn't even a Tennessee commit. Quinshon Judkins is Ohio State because he ended there. We say Alvin Kamara's from Tennessee because that's where he ended his career. I always tell Ohio State fans, I know we want to take credit for Joe Burrow, which in a sense we kind of can, but not really, because guess what? He finished his career at LSU. I would love to try to take credit for that boy, but let's be realistic. He finished his career at LSU, so he's an LSU
and he's known, and I feel like Joe Burrow is more known for the LSU time than the Ohio State time. But
of course, he's more known for that.
I mean, even with Jaden Daniels, like he's like, if we look
more
at
known for LSU.
yeah,
Like we know that he didn't start there, but he finished there.
yeah, and that's
So-
what we.
And
if you
even
look at
Quinshon Judkins can tell you too that when it comes to Ohio State, it was the best decision he made to transfer there because he was tired of carrying Ole Miss on his back.
and now Ole Miss has to carry more stuff on their back.
Legit. He and not only that, he also hated the culture there. He hated like Jamison Williams. He's known for being up Alabama. Ohio State fans, we don't take credit for him because we don't have to. He finished his career at Bama, and it's actually where he played his best. Now, look, he played at Ohio State. It's just that he played better at Bama.
Yeah.
And this also goes for Notre Dame fans. Let me tell you something straight up. Stop thinking to yourselves that Quincy Porter and Milan Graham are going to amount to anything at Notre Dame. I'm sorry, I love those two. I will tell you straight up that both those dudes have the potential to be among Ohio State's greatest wide receivers. They did. They had the potential. Here's the problem. They only had a year at Ohio State, and we've seen what happens to players who don't have more than 3 years at Ohio State. You never last. And at least for Jamison Williams, as brought up here, he went to Bama, which is known as wide receiver U. When is the last time Notre Dame was known as
receiver U? Yes.
They were in the conversation. Alabama, Ohio State, and LSU, all three in the conversation of wide receiver U. All three. At least he went to a school that could develop wide receivers. What the heck does Notre Dame do? You do not develop receivers. You never have, really. I mean, maybe a couple here and there, but not really. Not even to the level of freaking Clemson. So no.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Clemson to have that run again, where they can be one of those top defenses like they used to be.
That's if Dabo stops hiring his cousins. But at least you got Tom Allen. He might make your defense a lot better. But it's like, again, for Tennessee, it's like, look at where you're at right now. Like, you're talking about DGG, he can get drafted. If he gets drafted, it's because he's already good.
Yeah, that's
But here's the reality. And this is just the reality for each and every single one of you. And answer this question. Would anyone even remember what he did at Tennessee? Because if I can't even remember what Alvin Kamara did at Tennessee, what makes you think I'm going to remember what DGG did?
All right, you got a point. You got a point.
Right? His uncle talked about, hey, legacy. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what, Troy? You're right. He did. Ohio State got embarrassed worth for riches. That's why he transferred. And he should have, honestly. It's probably the best decision for his career. It was the best decision for James's career. He had to leave. I'm not going to lie.
And you know, if I'm looking at Notre Dame's schedule this year,
I mean, their schedule ain't all that.
It's not. And that's what I'm saying, because here's the problem with, I think we talked about this, from them being like not a part of a conference.
Yeah.
And they're kind of freelanced. They get like not like they don't really get top conference opponents, and then if they do make the playoffs, they're not used to the competitiveness.
Yeah, I mean, it would take them having like an easy path. That's what it would take for them, is they have to have an easy path to the national title game, just like they did in 2024. They had the easiest path.
Yeah,
but the toughest competition
they didn't play hard.
The toughest competition they faced was literally before the national title game was Penn State, and Penn State
was the toughest one. Yeah.
Yeah, and what is Penn State known for? Big games. Peeing down their legs is what they're known for doing. So yeah. No, let's be honest about this.
I don't like this. I think from a coach's standpoint, you gotta get into the big school names. You're not going against nobody ranked. And it's Notre Dame is a team that you're supposed to at least play two teams that are ranked, at least, to give yourselves that competitive edge of at least understanding before you make it to the playoffs. If that is the case, like, you're going against teams that can give you a fight, but like, come on now, North Carolina. I love Bill Belichick, incredible coach. We saw what he did in New England. He is not a great coach in college, and is not.
Although, again, I get what he's trying to build at North Carolina. It's just that it's not being executed the way it should be. Yeah. And I don't know if he's the right one to do it. Like, I think if he implemented the system, say, like, let's say this. He was part of a front office for college football.
Yeah.
It might work out better. In the front office, I think he would be a part of, would be mostly Ohio State, just because Ryan Day's a Bill Belichick fan. If anybody didn't know that already. He's a Bill Belichick fan, so if there's any way that would work, it would be with Ryan Day. And Ryan Day would implement it in no problem, and that would help out recruiting tremendously for them.
Yeah.
And Ohio State gets to be unfair for the heck of it. No, they would. They'd be completely unfair. They're already hiring, flexing their muscles, hiring a bunch of NFL people. But, that's just the reality. With Bill Belichick, I think it would work out great in college. You just need the right coach to implement it. And given how young Ryan Day is at 47, he's already has NFL experience. he's already trying to turn Ohio State into more of an NFL kind of program. It's like it will work at a place like Ohio State. Like it wouldn't work at Texas. I know that because they're too collegey. It won't work at
Yeah,
Bama because they're too
they're
collegey.
too college. Even though
Yeah, like
and that's
yeah, like
another.
schools that are too collegey it won't work. It could have worked at Georgia, but Kirby Smart's too much of a stubborn prick. So it's just
He
true
is.
for me.
No, he is though. He's not going to change how he wants to do his program.
Yeah, so
He
like
is
that's the
good.
problem. Like if there was
He is.
anywhere it was gonna work, it's gonna be at Ohio State because it's the only program you could really do it at.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just reality. But again, for DGG, as I pointed out, you have no wide receivers that anybody's worried about. Now, here's the funny thing: I question defenses in the SEC, given how former players from the SEC have talked about how they play, and I'm like, I question their defenses now. You don't have any real running back threats. You don't have any real tight end threats. Your defense is a joke. Let's call it what it is. So it's like, what are you who are you threatening exactly?
Yeah.
So DGG went there versus going to Ohio State where you got an elite wide receiving room that everybody got to worry about. Like once Jeremiah Smith leaving Brandon Hennessy, well, guess who you got? Brock Boyd. You got Chris Henry Jr. You got Traquel Guilford. You got Jameer Brown coming in. You got Jordan Donahue. Then you probably pretty much have Jet Harrison, Bryson Wright, Braylon Clark, and well, not Braylon Clark, but Braylon. However you pronounce the man's first name, Clark. And then you have like another 5-star receiver that they're going after. So it's like you're gonna have pretty much receiver galore. You're gonna have an elite offensive line. You're gonna have tight ends that people are gonna have to pay attention to. Yes, we all question Keenan Bailey in some instances, especially with his tight end recruiting in 2027. But other than that, again, the tight end room hasn't always been a problem. It's just that we don't incorporate them in the offense the way we should. And Arthur Smith's probably going to be the best way to do that. But the tight ends you are going to have to worry about because if you're paying too much attention to the running backs and the receivers, then Ohio State's going to start drawing up plays for the tight ends to get open, which is what they want. So on offense, DGG came here, and on top of that, he's got a full stack running back room where he can just not have to carry the load so much, and he can just sit back and relax and have tread on the tires for when he goes to the NFL, which wouldn't be the worst thing because look how well that worked out for Travion and Quinshon.
Yeah.
So, and again, for Tennessee, outside of DGG, who the heck do you have?
We have each other.
like legit.
We have
So
each
no,
other.
like for Tennessee, I'm so sick of their fans because look, y'all are acting so superior, but at the end of the day, you guys still suck. I'm sorry to tell you that you still suck. You suck.
There's a
do.
diehard Tennessee fan right now saying we do not suck.
Yes, you
We
do.
are just trying to
Yes, you do.
figure it out.
Y'all have been sucking for longer than a decade, like almost 2 decades now. Y'all been sucking, so I don't want to hear it. I don't. Like again, you guys keep talking about DGG, and it sounds like he might have made up his mind.
Yeah.
And there is news because I will be on the OHL podcast tonight regarding a response that Bo Jackson may have regarding the DGG situation. But here's the thing that Ohio State's telling these kids: you can go to Tennessee and get that $6 million deal and devalue yourself because it's not going to get bigger past that. Or you can come to Ohio State like Jeremiah Smith did because we only gave that man a 1-year contract. And we told him you can earn more money the more you prove it on that football field. So you could do what Jeremiah Smith did. You take less money, you put a bet on yourself, and you go out there and put it all out on that football field. And if you show everybody just how generational you are, like Jeremiah Smith did, you will earn even more money. Jeremiah Smith is making $9 million from just Ohio State alone in 3 years. That's way more than that $6 million deal that Tennessee's giving you.
True.
That's $3 million. And guess what?
What?
He's also got $22 million NIL deals from Adidas and from Red Bull, and he's got other multi-million-dollar freaking sponsorship deals from other companies. Jeremiah Smith, the money that those advertisements deals are in between is 20 to 30 million, and the most he's probably making is 25, as I mentioned. So you can either do exactly what DGG did. I'm sorry, you can either do what JJ is doing, where you bet on yourself and you put it on that football field and allow Ohio State to reward your production, or You could take that $6 million, not really be remembered for anything, and go to the NFL, and that's where you'll pretty much be the most remembered is what you do in the NFL. Or you can leave a legacy here in college that people will actually remember by going to Ohio State, still going to the draft, still doing what you want to do, because his uncle had mentioned it. He said something about, you going to Ohio State, what kind of legacy are you leaving behind? Well, let me tell you something. If you're elite at Ohio State and you're one of the greatest linebackers to ever play at Ohio State since Archie Griffin, since Ezekiel Elliott, since J.K. Dobbins, because to me, those are the top 3 running backs in Ohio State's history, are those 3 dudes. If you're able to beat out all 3 of them dudes, if you're able to have a historical season better than all 3 of those dudes ever did, then guess what? You put yourself among the greatest that have ever played in the game. Because if you really think about it, Ezekiel Elliott, Archie Griffin, J.K. Dobbins, I think when you're talking about the greatest players to ever play college football, they're up there in that top 30 range. Maybe top 20 even, given what they've done in college football. Especially for J.K. Dobbins, who had 3 1,000-yard seasons, and in his 4th year of college football had a 2,000-yard season. And name another running back that did that, other than maybe some of the guys from the lower schools like Christian McCaffrey and them. Who, funny enough, I remember more about them than I do about Alvin Kamara at Tennessee. Which what does that tell you? That I can remember Christian McCaffrey at even a school that's not as big as Tennessee more about his season, and I can't remember a dang thing that freaking Alvin Kamara did at Tennessee. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
The differences have changed.
So, no, like you just can't. Like, I just don't want to hear Tennessee fans talking no more. It's just getting old now. It is. And it is. I'm sorry, people. It's getting old now. It's getting old with Tennessee's fans at this point. I don't want to hear it no more from them.